Hello, Internet. Hello, Henry. Hello, anyone else that's watching this. My name is Sam Rubenstein. This is After Campfire. We're just going to jump right into the chaos of the year. Um, so, last video, Henry and I spoke about stuff. And this video, Henry and I are speaking about stuff. Because that's what we do here on After Campfire. We talk about stuff. I'm so tired. So, with all of this in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to just jump right in. I've got cool updates and stuff because I never really give like Sam's diary on how to adult because that's not a thing. I don't know how. I'm just kind of winging it. But I do have cool updates. So, I'm going to say them because they're exciting and they will pertain to the question that I'm going to ask Henry at the end. But we're just going to get like right into it. First update, for those who don't know, I am not actually going to be returning to camp in the next 2 weeks and or mini camp. Some stuff has come up in my life that are very good opportunities for me and beneficial for me, but as such mean that I will not be able to return to camp in really any plausible capacity. Um, there's this whole issue of when I'm at camp, I can't work on things that aren't camp related. It just doesn't work. I'm always in too many places at once to be able to do that, and so I'm just not gonna be able to go because I won't be able to get my work done. So with that, right now, what I'm doing is I am planning out um, my fall classes. We're doing in-person classes with the town of Bloomfield. We're doing other classes that are not in person and are virtual. We're doing some live events with the town of Bloomfield. Um, and then on top of that, I'm speaking at a couple conferences in the next few weeks. I'm going to be going to the Arts and Authors Extravaganza in Cherry Hill. I'm going to be speaking at the New Jersey Association of Agricultural Educators New Teachers Conference on Friday. I'm going to be doing a lot of things, and all of those are important. Um, and I'm going to be writing for a small TV show called Baseballers that I'm currently working on right now with some people, and that's really cool, and I'm having a great time doing that. Anyway, there's a lot going on right now. It's keeping me very busy. Um, so, with this in mind, um, I'm also seeing Isaac this week. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to hang out with Isaac. Um, and so it's been very busy for me. And I'm working on that. So yeah. That's my life update thing. I don't know if it's a diary on how to adult because I don't know if it's adulting or not. Anyway, um, I asked Henry what he would do if he'd never became a CIT and didn't continue his camp experience. And he talked about animation, drawing, and I find what's so interesting is that Henry and I would have had very different paths in the sense of Henry and I may not have been nearly as close as we are right now if we like I know he spoke about it, but we really wouldn't have been. Because I think although we were friends and like friendly and we're in those same circles, I don't think we were really as close until we were, CITs together. First year with Josh, which was a name when you said I was just like yeah. And then the second year with Jason. Um and I think that's really wild to me to think about how close we became within, the that 2 years of being CITs together. Um, and so I think that's the biggest issue. I think the other thing is I don't know if I would have gone into to child psychology or working with kids in general. I think I would have really continued focusing on writing and the writing process. And, I don't know if I would have gone the route that I went of working with kids. And that's weird to me because um just because it's such a strange place. Like now I'm doing this and I'm 27, and like what if I would have been doing writing work since I was like 16? What would that have looked like? And I'm not sure. I think I would have kept in the writing and the acting and all of that stuff, and I think that's really cool to think about, but also really bizarre. I don't know if I would have been the person that I am because I think a lot of what I learned about how to be a person, I learned from those summers at camp. Um, and I think that's really important to think about. And like a lot of my relationships that wouldn't have been like I don't know because again I wouldn't have been as close with you or Rebecca or really any of my very close camp friends. A lot of the kids who I was in a cabin with, I'm not very close with, except like Matt, who he and I really only got close again these past few years. But like I don't talk to Dennis or Brandon Metzger or any of them really, and that's kind of weird because we went in such different paths. And even if I like the outside of my cabin people, I was this huge drama kid, with like Johanna Press, Sarah Brodsky, Josh, Regina, like all of the Lauren Jensen, all these people, and of that, the only one I speak to is Lauren because I know where she where she is most of the time. Like it's very unusual to think about, um, because it was such a huge change. Um, and so I think that's my answers. I think more than the life would have just been different. I don't think I would have had the consistent support group because a lot of the people who I was close with as kids, we were not close as staff, or they didn't come back as staff, and I think that um bothers me a little bit more than I think I expected it to. When you think about our group of CITs from our year, that's you, me, Michael Vinak, Rebecca Zedek, um, Zach Wheeler, Matt, and Boyer and Corey. Not all of us made it through the CIT program to counselorhood, and like that is so weird to think about now because it's such a long time ago. So yeah, so my answer is I don't think I would have had the support group that I have now, um, but I don't think I would have been doing what I'm doing. I think I would have been in a very different spot in my life. Not a bad spot, just a different one, and that's pretty interesting. Um, I'm crushing up cardboard while I answer this question. Um, so yeah, so then Henry asked a question about is someone irredeemable? And I find that it's a weird thing to think about, um, because I think I've gotten into the habit of not looking at whether or not someone could be redeemed, but whether or not someone can be beneficial. Like, it sounds really weird to think about. Like, I don't think about the perspective of irredeemable. Like, when we think irredeemable, we think of, like, historical villains like Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler or Osama bin Laden or all these people who like were just not good people. Like they were really bad. And like at some point, be like, oh, could they be redeemed? It doesn't matter. They're dead now. But like on a smaller level, is there such a thing as being irredeemable? I don't think that there's not. I think anyone can be redeemed. The thing is will the people in their life stick around to see it, or will they leave, or will they not? Because I find it to be more fluid and like kind of a question on toxicity. Um, there are people who did terrible things who go on and learn and become better people from it. But I wouldn't know. Maybe I only saw them at their worst, and I'm not going to see them at their best. And that's fine. I don't need to. So I don't have a good answer to this. I think the answer is on a large scale, no. On a small scale, sure. But like, it's more about seeing kind of who you keep around and who you don't keep around. Um, I've been in rooms as a therapist where like I watched a kid look his father in the face who was abusing him, go, "You're not my dad anymore. I will never look at you that way." And like that kid had every right to say, "You are not someone who I want to keep in my life." And maybe that dad does learn and grow and redeem himself, but it doesn't matter because that kid is still removed him from his life. And I think that's the better way to think about it is people can change and grow and this and that. But at the end of the day, who are you redeeming yourself for? And do they want you in their life? And that's kind of where my answer is. On a small scale, it doesn't matter because you're not redeeming yourself to yourself. You are redeeming yourself for the people who are there still. Um, and so that's my answer. I mean, even with Endeavor, he can redeem himself all he wants, but his family may not accept him back. Like, they don't have to. And that's the realistic perspective of it. Cardboard. So, as I said earlier, I'm giving a speech on Friday. And it's meant to be a motivational speech all about kind of how my life and education and how I've learned through education and, all of those things. And how my educational experience has shaped me into the person that I am and such. And so my thing, though, is if we're going to give like these kinds of speeches, we're going to do this. Like, what is it going to be about? But that's not, I don't think it, ooh, I have an idea, Henry. It's stupid. I'm going to give you a challenge. I don't know if you can do it. If you can't, message me outside of this, but I really want to do it. Henry, I want us to do something fun that we've never done before. Let's do PowerPoints. Like, let's give it, like, you can pick a topic of any choice that you want to talk about. Anything at all. Just make a PowerPoint on it. Give us a presentation on what it is that you want to talk about, and you're going to just make a PowerPoint on whatever topic you think matters, or doesn't matter, or just something you really want to give a PowerPoint on. I think it'll be a fun change of pace. I can't wait to see your PowerPoint, and I'll see you on Friday.